Hi everybody, it's Dr. Verdi here, and today I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite treats. It's an immune boosting, adrenal supportive tea, and it's different. It's more like a latte than it is tea because the base of it is non-dairy milk. So my base is almond milk that I use, but you can use whatever base you like, whether it's oat milk or pea milk, hemp milk, or if you can tolerate dairy, you could use goat milk or cow milk. So I start with the base. For me, it's almond milk, and I pour it into my high power blender. The next thing I do is I use one unpitted date per cup of tea that I'm making. And I like using dates as sweeteners because they're a whole foods form of a sweetener. There's the fiber in it that helps to support your gastrointestinal health, the micronutrients that you get from eating a food in its whole form. And I usually just unpit it quickly and stick it in. So 1 and 2, and it adds a sweet flavor, but it's not too sweet. And because you have the fiber with it, it helps to raise your blood sugar in a more controlled way that you don't see when you use things like refined sugar for sweetening or maple syrup and things like that. So I like using dates with this recipe. Then I pull out herbs from my herb drawer. So the ones that I like to use are turmeric and ginger and cinnamon. So the Indus Organics brand is certified lead-free. They test every batch of herb that they sell and spice that they sell for lead. And unfortunately, turmeric and ginger tend to be some of the more leaded spices, especially when it's imported from overseas. And it's because it increases the weight of the spice when it's being sold. And so, unfortunately, lead has profound health effects on people, profound negative effects. And so I prefer to make sure that my herbs are lead-free and that they're tested to ensure that they're lead-free. So I usually just do, because I'm doubling the batch, I'm just going to do extra turmeric. And then I throw in ginger. I like things heavily spiced, but you can modify for your own taste buds. I like to add black pepper for the extra spice, and the black pepper also activates the medicine in the turmeric. They work together synergistically to improve the bioavailability and absorption of the antioxidants that you find in turmeric. And then cinnamon. So in the warm winter months, I find that people often crave lattes, and I find myself craving warm lattes, warm and creamy drinks. But when you go to a coffee shop, most of your options include caffeine or decaffeinated beverages. And there aren't a lot of health supportive things in those lattes. They're usually really high in sugar. So what I love about this is it contains herbs that help to boost your immunity, improve digestion, improve your microbiome, and you get that warm, comforting, cozy feeling from using it, from drinking it. So the next thing I use is a blend of tonic herbs. So right now I'm breastfeeding, so I have to make sure that the herbs that I use are safe for breastfeeding, safe for small children. And a lot of the tonic herbs that help to boost our immune system are actually food-based, and they're used as foods in other cultures. So I know that for many people, they're safe. But if you're breastfeeding, you'll want to double check with your doctor. My favorite company for sourcing bulk herbs in the powdered form and bulk herbs in general is Mountain Rose Herbs. They ethically source their herbs, and they ensure that the herbs that they're selling are the herbs that you believe that you're buying. Sometimes plants are not ID'd correctly, and so the consumer can buy herbs that the company believes is that herb, but then we find out later that it's not the herb. So Mountain Rose Herbs, I really trust them, and I use them personally, and I recommend them to a lot of my patients. Anyway, so what we have here today is cordyceps mushroom powder. Cordyceps has amazing immunomodulating effects, which means that it can help lower overactive immune systems for people who have autoimmune disease. And it can boost immune systems for people who might have weakened immunity. So, sleep deprivation can definitely weaken immunity. So in my case, I haven't been sleeping much the last few months with my son being an infant. He needs a lot of attention at night. So this is one way that I help to keep well in spite of the sleep deprivation. The second herb is Astragalus. It's also an immune tonic, and it's really good for supporting the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, or the HPA axis, which is our stress response pathways. It's calming. And then the last herb is Chaga mushroom powder. So Chaga is also a healing mushroom known for its ability to work as an immune tonic. It has this beautiful, beautiful, rich brown color. So I got all of these herbs in. I'm not sure why, but I'm feeling like I need to add some extra turmeric and ginger. So I'm just going to throw some extra in here. And then the key ingredient to making these smoothies is actually a little bit of nut butter. So you could use sunflower seed butter, you could use peanut butter, you could use almond butter. There's a lot of different options, but what I find is the butter adds some fat to improve absorption of a lot of these herbs, especially the turmeric. Sorry, that's my cat. So especially the turmeric is more bioavailable, but it also, after you blend it, creates a creamy, delicious consistency to the tea. So I think you're gonna really enjoy it if you decide to make this. So again, I just eyeball it because I'm doubling the recipe. I'm gonna use a little more than a spoonful, like a spoon and a half full. And I believe we have all of the ingredients put together. So now all we have to do is blend. So excuse me while I do this, 1 second. So it takes a little bit for the dates to be blended fully. When I can tell that they're chopped up, I'll increase the speed. When it looks like all of the dates are completely blended up, you don't see big chunks floating around anymore when it's blending, that's usually when you're done. So the next step is to actually heat the tea. So you could either microwave it or warm it up on the stove. I'm gonna go do that right now. Okay, so I've warmed it up. As you can see, it's this frothy, delicious looking, yeah, it's recording. Okay. This delicious looking tea, and Luke is going to be my taste tester. If you want to give it a try. All right. Cheers. Cheers.
It's good. It is good. It's turmeric strong, but not like overpowering.
Yeah, you like it. Sorry, I was laughing because there was turmeric in your mustache. Yeah, so you like it? Awesome. Let me taste it. It's so good. So anyhow, I hope you enjoy this recipe. You can tweak it however you like, depending on what herbs you have in your spice cabinet. Sorry, my husband's making me laugh. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I was laughing because I realized my husband is so tall that he was cut off when he came to record, but we can still see his reaction and what he thought of the tea. Anyway, I appreciate what a good sport he is, and I just wanted to end with this. right now, the US population, we're dealing with an epidemic of metabolic syndrome and prediabetes and diabetes. I think a lot of this is because we have sugar in so much of our foods that we're unaware of, from cereals to trail mixes to yogurts. Everything is full of sugar. Even our condiments, like ketchup, are often full of sugar. And so I think because of this, it's really having an effect on our health, where our metabolisms are being inundated with sugar consistently. And then we're seeing things like prediabetes come up. So, one of the things I'm passionate about is helping people switch a lot of the foods that they consume to healthier options. And so, this might be a healthier alternative to a super sugary, hyper sweetened beverage from your local coffee shop, to one that you can just make at home. You could make it in the afternoon when your energy levels are starting to dip. I usually make it around this time as a snack between lunch and dinner. And it has so much nutrition and antioxidant value. And so, if you're interested in learning more about how to reduce the amount of sugar that you're consuming, follow the link below. It is a link to a course that I put together that goes into all of the causes of sugar cravings and how to identify the contributors for your own sugar cravings and ameliorate them using simple diet and lifestyle medicine. Thanks for watching.